preliminary engineering.
Melinda, but we have a quorum, so Wiz, if you want to just go, and I'll read the thing once we're ready for that.
Yep, good afternoon, everybody. Today is the MPO Technical Advisory Committee meeting for Tuesday, December 8th, 2020, meeting time 2:30 p.m. We will be getting ready to call the meeting to order, but before that, we'll turn it over to Ashley to read guidelines for the meeting.
Thank you. My name is Ashley Myers. I'm a transportation planner. And so good afternoon. Jessica Mortinger, transportation planning manager, is in the room, and we will be working alongside Aaron Quisenberry, the chair, to facilitate the meeting's proceedings. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast live on the city's YouTube channel and public access channel 25. During the meeting, when you are not participating, please mute yourself by clicking on the microphone icon found on the lower left-hand side of the Zoom menu next to the video icon. When you are muted, a red line will appear over the icon. Muting your microphone during the meeting will make it easier for everyone to hear. You'll just have to remember to unmute if and when you want to speak. In some cases, we may mute or unmute people as needed to minimize distractions during the meeting. Please remember to state your name and title for the benefit of those listening remotely. You can turn off your video by clicking on the video icon in the menu. For the purposes of this public meeting, please keep your video on when you are participating in the meeting. When you're not participating, it is okay to turn off your video. Just remember to turn your video back on when you are participating. If you're participating by phone, you can click *6 to unmute your phone. For those using Zoom, somewhere on your screen, you will see a choice to toggle between speaker and gallery view. Speaker view shows the active speaker. Gallery view tiles all the meeting participants. Individuals who have registered in advance to provide public comments remotely will be called upon by name. No one has signed up. So I'll skip that. The chair will then call for in-person public comment for those who are physically present. Staff will direct them to the podium to speak while following social distancing and safety protocols. Jessica, is there anybody there? Okay. All motions will need to be stated clearly. After a motion is made and seconded, I will call on each member individually to provide their vote. Staff will then need to announce whether the motion carried and the count of the vote. I'll turn the meeting back over to the chair, Aaron Quisenberry.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. Ashley or Jessica, do you want to do introductions?
I'll do that. Ashley Myers, transportation planner. So Aaron Quisenberry is here. Okay, and I'm just going to call on each of your names so we can get it for the roll. Adam Weigel.
Here.
Allison Smith.
Here.
Brandon Boyd.
Here.
Chad Voigt.
Here.
Amy Miller.
Here.
And Melinda Harger.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Item B on the agenda for today is public comment. Sounds like we have not received any and we don't have anybody present. Is that accurate?
Jessica Mortinger, transportation planning manager. Correct. There's no one in person and we received no written or email correspondence and no one has signed up to participate electronically.
All right, thank you. We will move to item letter C, which is approving the minutes from November 10, 2020. Looking for a motion to approve those minutes.
This is Allison Smith. I'd move to approve.
Looking for a second.
Adam Weigel, I'll second.
Okay, this is Aaron Quisenberry. Chair, it's been moved by Allison and seconded by Adam to approve the November 10, 2020 minutes. We'll turn it over to a roll call vote for Ashley.
Thank you. Ashley Myers, transportation planner. Quiz.
Yes.
Adam.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Melinda.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
So this is Aaron Quisenberry again, and I've got to state this. So last meeting, I actually said aye, and then a lot of people said aye. And so today I said yes, and everybody said yes. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I just wanted to point that out. So it's just kind of weird. Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say aye. Anyhow, moving on to letter D, agenda items. We do have 3 agenda items. Item number 1 is the ITS Architecture Plan Update Steering Committee to discuss and provide feedback to the proposed steering committee, which will assist in the development of the ITS Architecture Plan update listed in the 2021 UPWP. I'm going to turn this over to Jessica.
Yes, Jessica Martin, your Transportation Planning Manager.
I've drafted a list of stakeholders to participate in a steering committee to lead an effort to update, to investigate the ITS plan and determine how the scope of the update needed and to proceed to do that update. And so this, we inquired with the previous participants who participated in previous steering committees and asked, and replicated similarly that list, but also asked at some organizations if there was other people that should participate due to the nature of the interdepartmental oversight kind of ITS. And so this is the list we came up with for your entertainment. We'd be happy to entertain any conversation about anyone you feel shouldn't be on the list or is missing from the conversation to entertain to guide the work of the MPO as we do this update process.
Hey, Jessica, it's Allison Smith. Did you talk to Anthony Jones about participating?
This is Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner. I believe I emailed Anthony and Ava actually just to let them both know that we were putting them on the list, and I don't think I heard back about if he thought it should be somebody else.
And I just say that because Anthony is just temporary. I believe it was for about 6 months or so. So just so you're aware of that he may not, I don't know when, this is obviously 2021. So there may be a switch. I don't know what Federal Highways timeline, of course, it's anybody's guess right now. Somebody else on board. So there may be some discontinuity about their involvement and stuff. So of course, everything's virtual right now, so him being in Texas doesn't necessarily make any kind of difference right now, but just so you're aware.
Yeah. And Jessica Morton, your Transportation Planning Manager. I think many of these are position-based, so if anybody left in one of the positions, we would go back to the employer and ask to seek for someone who filled that role. So I think that would be consistent with what we've done for other steering committees when we've lost people.
And did you confirm with Sherry Hilliard that she's available?
Ashley Myers, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Question for Ashley or Jessica. In the event that somebody might not be able to attend a meeting, would it just be the responsibility of that individual to try to get a proxy, or would you rather have them be absent minus the proxy?
I think Jessica Martin, your Transportation Planning Manager, I think we can do it either way. This committee is going to be a little more informal in the sense that much of the work, the reason why this committee is so big and there's so many people in terms of representation from Lawrence is because all of these people have different roles in the ITS architecture. And so their role likely will be reviewing it on behalf of their specific elements and helping have that conversation about the scope of the update needed. So I think that's really at the discretion of the person who is in that position. So for example, if you feel like for KU on Wheels, if you feel like your absence is going to be missed and you've seen the agenda and you know what we're going to be talking about, or you want to get caught back up with staff, those would be options. You could either get caught back up or have someone fill in for you. And we would be flexible either way to make sure that was accommodated in the process.
Thank you. This is Aaron Quisenberry. Does anybody else have any comments or suggestions for Jessica on this item? Okay, I'm not hearing a whole lot. So what we are looking for is action to recommend approval of the ITS Architectural Plan Update Steering Committee has been presented. Looking for a motion and a second for approval.
This is Melinda Harger, and I'll motion that.
Amy Miller, I'll second.
Okay, this is Aaron Quisenberry. It's been moved by Melinda and seconded by Amy to go ahead and approve the
2021 ITS Steering Committee. Turn it over to Ashley for a roll call vote.
Thank you. Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner. Quiz?
Aye.
Ooh. Adam?
Yes.
Allison?
Aye.
Brandon?
Yes.
Chad?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Melinda?
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. I don't know which one sounds better. Does I sound better or does yes? I'm not sure. Does it matter? I'm just trying to interject a little entertainment here this afternoon. So, okay, we're going to move.
I'm following the leader. So
Oh,
Quiz,
I got you.
whatever you say.
Well, Adam obviously bucked the trend right from the get-go on that, didn't he? We're going to move on to item number 2 on the agenda, the regular agenda, which is the Transit Route Redesign Steering Committee. We're going to discuss and provide feedback to the proposed steering committee with the MPO Technical Advisory Committee. Which will assist in the development of the transit route redesign process listed in the 2021 UPWP. I believe Adam's going to take the lead on this. So Adam, go ahead.
Sure, thanks, Quiz. So Adam Weigel, Transit and Parking Manager for City of Lawrence. So we are coordinating with the MPO in a route redesign study in 2021 that's coordinated with the development of a new transit transfer facility. We're partnering with KU on that project as well. So this steering committee will help guide consultant through that process, help make our public engagement efforts are reaching the people that we need to reach, and hopefully, as you can see in the list of proposed members, trying to get perspectives from a lot of different angles on bus route redesign that can impact people in a lot of different ways. So that was our intent in putting together this list, was think about riders and non-riders and people in the business community and social service agencies and just several of those different perspectives. So with that, I guess as you'll see, there are some members to be determined. We're waiting until this gets established by the policy board before we go out and do some of our nominations through other advisory committees and such. But with that, I'll leave it open to comments or questions about this list or the project.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Adam, can you real quick just give a quick overview just on how long the group's been meeting, kind of what your plan is moving forward, kind of time frame for meeting, that kind of thing with the group?
I think the intent would probably be for this group to meet monthly. I imagine with the RFP going out soon that hopefully will be meeting by February, perhaps would potentially be the first month where a group might meet. And I imagine it will probably run through the fall. So I'm not sure exactly how long, but definitely within the year 2021, but hopefully sometime in the fall is when it would wrap up.
Thanks. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Adam on the Transit Route Redesign Steering Committee?
This is Melinda Harger with the city. And Adam, I had a question about possibly reaching out to the Director of Equity and Inclusion. I was wondering if his name, Faris Muhammad, had come up, but I think he might be a good addition, maybe to invite him to be part of the steering committee as well.
Adam Weigel, Transit and Parking Manager. I think that's a great idea. We'll reach out to him. As you can see, we've kind of split the committee based on more kind of community representation and staff. And I think there's always room to. I think he'd have great perspective from that staff side of things.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Adam, question just based off Melinda's suggestion. Would you be looking to approve what you already have on paper today with the event of adding folks as needed moving forward? Or do you think we would have to bring this back before the group for any approvals for anybody you're going to add, or what's your suggestion on that?
Adam Weigel, Transit and Parking Manager. I think we want a pretty clear picture today of what the group looks like. As Jessica had mentioned before, I think if there are names that need to switch, but keeping the kind of agency level representation, I think we'd be able to do that moving forward. But yes, if we're missing groups that you do not see on this list, I'd like to identify them today, as opposed to us ad hoc adding them later.
Jessica Martin, your Transportation Planning Manager. I'd just like to remind what you're doing today, hopefully, is
recommendation of approval for the MPO Policy Board, and this will be a formal committee that they establish. And so, like Adam said, we can change out people, and oftentimes that's why our the community appointees are volunteer positions, like liaisons from existing steering committees. We have the designee plus an alternate, because we've come to find that people transition out of terms or they can't make meeting times during the day, so it helps to have those two positions, even though, or two people to kind of fill that one perspective and position if people can't attend. And so that's kind of another thing you'll see in here is we often change people, but we want to make sure we have that perspective.
Any other questions or suggestions for Adam on this item of business?
Okay, hearing none, looking for a motion and a second to recommend approval of the Transit Route Redesign Steering Committee. It's been proposed by Adam Weigel.
This is Melinda Harger.
Go ahead, Melinda.
Okay, this is Melinda Harger. I recommend, or I move to recommend the approval of the Transit Route Redesign Steering Committee with the consideration to invite an equity and inclusion perspective as well. Does that work?
And Allison Smith, I'll second. Melinda.
Okay, it's been moved by Melinda and seconded by Allison to recommend approval of the Transit Route Redesign Steering Committee. It's been proposed today by Adam Weigel. I'll turn it back over to Ashley for a roll call vote.
Thank you. Forgot to unmute. Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner. Quiz.
Yes.
Adam.
Aye.
Allison.
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
And Melinda.
Aye.
Passes 7-0.
Okay, well, we're going to move on to item number 3 on today's agenda, Transportation 2040 Amendment 1. I'm going to turn this over to Ashley to present to the group.
Thank you. There it is. Okay. Again, my name is Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner, and I was trying to get to share my screen there. There we go. All right. So KDOT requested that we complete an amendment to Transportation 2040 in order to move a project that was listed in the illustrative project list, which was the wish list of projects that are not fiscally constrained, into the fiscally constrained project list of Transportation 2040. The project is the US 40 K10 Interchange Improvement that's on the west side of town, and would include changing the intersection to a diverging diamond interchange, which is what this graphic shows here. And the project was included in the EIC, the Eisenhower Legacy Transportation Program, as part of a development pipeline project. And so just the preliminary engineering work is being added to Transportation 2040 right now, and through this amendment process. And just this one project is being asked to be added. And so we put together this amendment summary talking about why we would need to do this and how it would be funded through the EIC development project pipeline. There's information about how it meets the T2040 goals, which is how it met the T2040 goals before when we included it on the wish list. And so now that we're just moving it into the fiscally constrained portion where there's funding for the project, it still meets the T2040 goals. And it also is a lot safer than a conventional intersection because there's not all of the crossing traffic patterns. And we have crash history and the map about crashes. And this table just shows the funding. And as you can see here, only the preliminary engineering right-of-way and utility is currently authorized. And that is the portion that's being added into Transportation 2040. The construction will be added in to the project later. But we would only need to do this Transportation 2040 amendment once just to get the project into T2040. And then we would do, as part of the TIP amendment process, including this project in the TIP amendment, and then would, in a future TIP amendment, would include the construction with the project. Because this is just a very limited scope of a amendment to Transportation 2040, we are proposing that we do a 30-day public comment period, which is required by the public participation plan, and then move forward with the process to have the MPO Policy Board review and hopefully approve the amendment in February. So today we're talking about this amendment, and then hopefully you all will recommend approval of it to the Policy Board. And so on the 17th of December, hopefully they approve that, and then we'll put it out for public comment on the 18th or whatever day, depending on what changes they may have for us to do. Again, this is a very limited scope of an amendment because it's just the one project, and it was already listed in Transportation 2040 as a wish list project. And so now we're just moving it into the fiscally constrained portion of the project because it has funding associated with it. Does anybody have any questions about the amendment process or the project itself? And I'll stop sharing my screen. There we go.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Ashley, I guess I would just ask for the highlighted areas you have on those dates. Is it okay to go ahead and pass this with those dates just kind of left open-ended in that sense?
Yes, Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner, yes. We will fill those in once we know the actual dates and put it out. Now, also, this is just a summary of the amendment. And so when we actually do put it out for public comment, we'll include the couple of pages from Transportation 2040 that are being amended. So the public can see this is what we're doing, and these are the pages that are changing. Oh, Allison, you're muted.
Sorry. Just to be clear, there is no funding for construction quite yet. This is preliminary engineering right-of-way and utilities. Like Ashley said, when there is funding for construction identified, we will come back and ask for another TIP amendment. But we want to get this project, which is one of a series of other projects in other areas of the state as part of EIC that we want to have ready
to go so that when funding is available, we can move to construction. Now, as you saw in Ashley's right up there, we tentatively have this slated for construction in federal fiscal year 2023, which was early fall of 2022. So late October, early November is where we're thinking right now. A number of years ago, we put up the interim improvements at the top of the ramps with those lights to help the queuing problems because cars were backing up onto the main line of K10. As some of you may have gotten stuck in those lines. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward with this. And I greatly appreciate staff's. I brought this to them 2 days ago. So they've moved very quickly to help us get moving on this because we were eager to get preliminary engineering started. So wanted to give them our appreciation. So if there's any questions, Steve Ballman, our engineer in the area, is also on the call. So if there's any questions, let us know.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Thanks, Allison, for that summary. Does anybody else have any questions or comments on item number 3, Transportation 2040 Amendment 1? If there are not, I'm looking for a motion and a second to work on approving this.
I'll make the motion that we release the amendment for public comment. This is Chad Voigt.
This is Adam Weigel. I'll second.
All right, it's been moved by Chad and seconded by Adam to recommend releasing the Transportation 2040 Amendment 1 for a 30-day public comment period. I'll turn it over to Ashley for roll call vote.
Thank you. Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner. Quiz.
Yes.
Adam.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Chad.
Aye.
Amy.
Yes.
Melinda.
Aye.
Great. That passes 7-0.
All right, thanks everybody. We're going to move to letter E in the agenda. On the agenda, quick updates. We have 2. Federal Fiscal Year 2020 list of projects with obligated federal funds is item number 1, and item number 2 is monthly KDOT update. Am I turning that over to Ashley or Jessica for those?
Ashley Myers, Transportation Planner. I can do the federal fiscal year annual obligation list. So we do this every year. We get information from KDOT about how much federal funding has been spent in the county for transportation projects and transit projects, and we put this report together. We send it out to you every year also, but I don't think we always remember to put it on the agenda. So I think we're going to try to do that in the future just so you can see it. Like I said, it's been there every year, so you can go back and follow how projects move through the process and are eventually completely constructed and taken off lists. And then the annual or the monthly KDOT update. This is something that they are doing now where they're putting together a PDF of updates, and we're going to just be including this on the agendas so you can track things there as well. Allison, do you have any comments about that update?
No comments, just rolling updates. There's funding opportunities as they come through. Any announcements, I imagine when TA projects are on there, besides the typical press release, you'll see that on there. So you don't have to weave and wait for a TAC agenda. If you're just curious what's going on, you'll see it on there. Just general information. So that's it.
This is Aaron Quisenberry. Thanks, Allison. Does anybody have any other comments on letter E, numbers 1 or 2 updates that Ashley's provided to the group? All right, we're going to move to letter F, other business. There's nothing listed here on the agenda. Jessica, has there been any other business that's been submitted to you that didn't make the agenda?
Jessica Mortinger, Transportation Planning Manager. We have nothing else to add.
That's awesome. That moves us to letter G. Next meeting, it's actually scheduled for January 25th, 2021. That sounds kind of weird to say, but I know all of you probably know that Jessica sent out all of our invitations for the meetings for next calendar year. So make sure you get those on your calendar, get them accepted, get them declined, get them tentative, whatever it needs to be. So Ashley knows kind of roughly how many folks will be in attendance for each meeting as we go forward. But it looks like the next meeting will be set for January 5th, 2:30 p.m. Is that accurate? If I remember right, 2:30? Yeah. All right. And again, I can't remember how we did this a month ago, but I don't know if we have to have a motion to adjourn. Jessica's saying no. Melinda's saying no. We're gonna have to talk to these students.
Jessica Mortinger, Transportation Planning Manager. Quiz, you've asked this quite a few times, and every time I'm like, Ashley, do we need to go check Robert's Rules of Order?
Yeah. Well, I got to get with these Senate folks on campus because that's, yeah, we're going with what Jessica and Ashley are telling us anyhow. So the meeting will be over. Everybody, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your week. If we don't see you, enjoy the new year coming up. We'll be meeting on January 5th. See you, everybody.
Bye.